So I treat myself to brunch in a bougie cafe, and there's 2 little triangles of mild cheese on the side. Yum yum. I think to myself, eating the cheese. Shame there's not butter for my bread though. I get to the end of my meal and realize I was eating whole chunks of butter. I started a new job. My boss said hi, my name is Rebecca, but people call me Becky. I said my name's Liam, but people call me Disc. She said how do you get disc from Liam? I replied you just ask nicely. I work at a GameStop. Someone tried to trade in a controller with rocks glued to the thumbsticks and got angry when we wouldn't take it. I went to a restaurant. It was full, no place to sit. I took out my mobile, placed it to my ear and said loudly, "Bro, come fast. She's here with someone else." 6 couples ran away. So my girlfriend asked if there is a girl on here that would be down for a threesome. I told her she was crazy, but she insisted on finding a girl. She's very competitive and wants to prove a point that she is the best. I didn't even want to write this. Guys, I just ordered pizza and the pizza guy looked just like a younger Dean with a leather jacket and everything. And when I opened the door I just breathed out Dean really quietly in surprise, and then the guy smiled and sat the pizza down and hugged me for a long time, then said, "Sammy man, it's good to see you." What? I'm at the bookstore and I just met a very serious 8-year-old boy in a tiny tweed suit and a light pink button-down shirt who asked me to help him find Crime and Punishment. Eugene Onegin, a hero of our time. The Call of Cthulhu. End of watch by Stephen King. Also met his very tired mother, who was wearing a purple fleece jacket. The little boy exasperatedly corrected her on her pronunciation of Onegin. I promise you I'm not making up one word of this. A guy I work with told me his old housemate tried to rollerblade to the airport once, so he wouldn't have to pay for a cab, and missed his flight by 2 hours. I haven't stopped thinking about it. This is incredible. So I fainted today, and apparently, right before I lost consciousness I told my mom, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." To everybody replying, quoting this tweet, "Thank you for appreciating my poorly timed humor, and yes, I'm okay." My boy's having issues in the bedroom depth. He can get it up at all. For the last 4 months he came to me and asked me, "Will you have sex with her?" While I can't. Well, I have been for 3 days now. That is me and her. Smiling. I hate my generation. Last night I was at another stupid party with millennials when the popular kids started to make fun of this kid for getting A's. So I beat them up, and then all their girlfriends asked me to date them. But they're also the stupid type that listens to music like rap. A lady on the plane yelled at me that my F-off sleep mask was too inappropriate for her infant child, who probably can't even read yet. I told her to follow instructions and fell back asleep. So my boyfriend is in town and we ordered pizza from Domino's. He goes to pay for it and I overhear the delivery girl go, "So can I get your number?" I walk up to investigate because he's all awkward and stuttering, and I ask, "Is everything okay?" She turns to me, eyes me up and down and goes, "Girl, can I have your number?" My boyfriend is currently sulking and I have yet to stop laughing. In grade 12 we were reading Romeo and Juliet and we were at the romantic balcony scene, and this hot girl in the class volunteered to read Juliet's parts, and I put up my hand to volunteer for another part, and the teacher goes, "Oh, do you want to be the nurse, Amanda?" And I was like, "No, I wanna be Romeo," and the hot girl swiveled around in her seat to give me a lute. She and I later ended up making out a bunch of parties in University Umfeo. In retrospect, this moment was absolutely pivotal to my butch awakening, but it was also just a lesbian power move. I like to go to open mic nights and perform. I just go up on stage and pretend I'm possessed by demons until someone turns off my microphone. I once did this for the full 10 minutes and everybody was laughing hysterically and throwing money up on the stage and panties. Since energy can't be created or destroyed, and energy is stored in the human body, does that mean that when you die, the energy inside you is the spirit of your body? I asked my teacher that, and she was silent for 40 minutes in science until lunch started. I'm going to scream, I'm in class and these girls who bullied me in 5th grade are whispering and they're like, "Holy sh, did she go to our elementary school?" I don't know if that's her. I really don't think that's her, guys. And the teacher called my name and they go, Holy she's hot. This is the fucking life. You fucking go, I'm proud of you. Own it for all of us. My 11-year-old daughter last night, quietly, Mom, can we fix global warming next year? Me heartbreaking. No, we can't. The best we can do is slow it down. We need to be brave and help each other see a different path by walking it ourselves. My old college roommate and I are out for the evening and find ourselves in a bar mostly patronized by college kids and 20 somethings. We are pushing 40, so we are skewing the average age quite a bit. While I'm in line for the restroom, a young woman wearing a Wisconsin sweatshirt tries to subtly cut in at the front of the line. I can see the others looking annoyed, but no one says anything. Me, hey, Wisconsin, end of the line's back there. The other girls in line are in shock at first and then applaud. Wisconsin sheepishly walks to end of line. Pretty sure for the rest of the night I was the sassy old lady in line for the restroom. It felt good to be a role model for the next generation. I was at stoplight waiting to turn left and I got behind a driver who was hesitant to turn. I didn't even honk. I just rolled my eyes and mumbled to myself. She gets out of her car and screams me. I have a newborn baby in the back of my car. That's why I didn't go. Glad to know that baby's growing up with such an even-tempered, level-headed patient mother. I'm sure they're going to have the idyllic upbringing that every child deserves. This makes no sense whatsoever, lol. I brought my 6-year-old son to watch Ice Age 4. When we were inside the movie theater, there were these 3 really annoying teenage girls who kept on spoiling each scene before it even happens, and they were beside us. As everyone tried to keep their calm and not fight the 3 girls, my son randomly told me something. "Hey dad," he asked. "Yup," I answered. "Ms. Miller, his preschool teacher, taught us respect today." "That's good," I answered back softly. "Daddy," he asked again. "Yup. Does everyone go to preschool?" he suspiciously asked. "Usually." "Why?" I answered. "Because, why can't the girls beside us show respect?" I froze when I heard him say this. Everyone in the theater started clapping for my son. I have never been so proud of him. This afternoon I was sitting at my window playing my acoustic guitar and my window opens right up onto a small apartment balcony, and I was so into the song I made up that I didn't notice all my neighbors had came out of their house and were looking up at me playing. When I finally snapped out of my daydream they fucking clapped, and one guy that was gardening plucked a rose off a bush and threw it up to me. I'd said help. "Son, Daddy, I got a detention today. Kids were making fun of me for liking retro games and for using a Gamma Boy. I called them stupid and said that they were ignorant sheep who only like trash like COD. Me, son, I'd never be mad at you for defending good games." I took a homeless man out to lunch today. Before we were even seated, he began to frantically defend his existence to me. "Tim, let me just go ahead and answer the questions you really want to ask, but are too polite. No, I've never been convicted of a crime. No, I don't do drugs or drink alcohol. Yes, I'm connected with the local shelters. Yes, I'm actively looking for a job. Yes, I've made some mistakes, but I'm really trying to make things right. Me, okay, but with all due respect, might I be the one to determine which questions I really want to ask? Tim, that's fair. What do you want to talk about? Me, poetry. Tim, poetry. Me, yes. Who is your favorite poet? Tim, John Donne. Me, no man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Tim, some people very much surprise me. Me, aren't you glad? Tim, how did you know that I love poetry? Me, I didn't. But how do you know if you haven't asked? Overheard at work today. 6-year-old, "Mommy, why is that man dressed like a lady?" "Mother, that is a lady. She was just born with the wrong body." 6-year-old, "How did that happen?" "Mother, nobody really knows, but she's working to fix it, and that's what's important." 6-year-old, "Okay," runs up to obviously self-conscious woman. 6-year-old, "Hey, miss lady." "Yes." 6-year-old, "You look really pretty in your skirt." "Lady, thank you." Kid skips back to her mom, and literally everyone in the vicinity smiles. Little girl, "Oh look, that bird is so pretty." Her mom, "No, Honey, that's a pigeon. Pigeons are dirty. Little girl. Then I wanna be dirty instead of pretty, cause I like the way that bird shines. Her mom. Little girl, you're perfect. Pigeon. My mom is wrong. Put 6-year-olds in charge of the world, like stat. Open a 5-hour energy at work and start drinking it. Child with their mom. Mommy, is that the same drink you have on mommy nights? That makes your mouth and legs not work, because you should tell her before she gets hurt. Mom. Mortified. I'm crying, y'all. I can't believe this kid just told on his mom for being plastered on her mommy nights. When I walked into karaoke, I saw a dude bragging about how he knew a lot about voice to a lady. Yeah, so there's baritone, bass, alto, chest out, proceeded to sing Wanted Dead or Alive. Showboated like he owned the place. Wasn't a bad singer at all, but the chops didn't match the ego. Of course, Wanted Dead or Alive is possibly the easiest Bon Jovi song that's done at karaoke. I don't compare vocalists typically, unless I get the feeling you're a jerk. Anyways, I walk towards the mic politely. Dude yells at me, "You're going Freddy, you better not screw this up." Without even looking at him, I point my finger in his face to shush him, and proceed to perform. After the crowd gave me a most sizable reception, our friend stared at me, white as a ghost. I apologize, good sir, I had no idea. I grabbed him by the collar and proceeded to inform him that the next time I see him on mic he'll be paying me jerk tax, and that I run the bar from this day forward. He accepted the terms and left promptly. Burglar gently waking me. You live like this? So I heard this story secondhand many years ago, but the gist was that a friend of a friend lived in what was generally considered a bad neighborhood because he was a super poor college student and it was what he could afford. He didn't have any furniture, he just slept on a blanket on the floor and had a milk crate for a chair and like an old wire spool as a table. No TV, nothing in the fridge, no microwave. Basically just bare walls and a roof to keep the weather off. So one day he comes home and there's a man in his apartment, just standing there, with this look of utter amazement and horror on his face, and he turns to the guy who's just entered and says, "This your place, cause I broke in to rob you, bitch, man, you ain't got nothing. Wait here, I'ma be right back." And the burglar left, leaving a puzzled college student alone in his empty apartment. But sure enough, the burglar came back a while later, and brought some friends, and they delivered a table, a couple of chairs, and a small TV. I think I got you a bed too, but that might take a couple days. So, the poor college student made some friends, and he didn't ask where they got the stuff.